Hi, this is Kimberly. Please enjoy our podcast, but remember our doctors are only here to educate, not diagnose. If you have any questions or need any further information, please email me. My email address is kim@mfwellness.org.
Hello again, everyone. We're back. I hope everybody enjoyed that podcast last week on the infant swimming. It was actually pretty good, even though I wasn't involved, and that makes me really sad.
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert at everything, Kim. I don't know if you knew that.
I thought you were.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, wow.
One of our patients this morning asked us about school lunches, and I completely ignored her. And Kimberly was walking around with an incredible document that she created. Super colorful. She cut and pasted from somebody else who did the work, I'm sure. But this document is really, really good. And I just then remembered, like in one of those movie flashback scenes where I promised to do a podcast where we talked about school lunches. So what I want to do today is each of us take turns talking about either how to make healthy lunches or tips for healthy lunches at school for our kids, because everybody's starting back to school in the next couple of weeks. And it's really, really important, like what they eat. So I actually just got done giving a huge lecture to a really super great patient that we love her to death. And she's working real hard to get to half marathon status. And she keeps getting injured. I was just talking to her about recovery and calorie intake and protein intake. And it turns out she's getting about 40% of the protein she needs to be doing what she's doing. And so it's no wonder. You can be the best doctors on earth, and we are. But we've got to be able to get that intake into the body. So anyway, we'll cover protein intake later, but right now I want to take each one of us, a bunch of dads. We've made lunches. The moms, Dr. Fake over there, he's ready. This is Dr. Matt's podcast. So what I want to do is just take turns and just give them some, nothing too crazy, or crazy if you want. Stuff that we have found to get our kids to eat healthy lunches, either at school or at home. Dr. Fink, you want to go first?
Sure. So the first thing that I would say would be a great start would be getting your kid to participate in making their own lunch.
That's it, bro.
So,
you took the good one, Mauer.
He did.
Well, I didn't know
I thought maybe I could save that till the end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like my last thing.
Dr. Matt's like, the finale? The finale?
Like teach them early, you don't have to do anything the rest of the time.
My kids are 10 and 8 years old, and they make their own lunches.
Heck yeah, man.
I make sure that I supervise them.
Sure.
And make sure that their stuff.
Do you do any lunch checks at the door?
Well, they'll make their sandwiches the night before, but they'll put them in the refrigerator. And so they'll switch up whether they have a Capri Sun or Kool-Aid Jam or something that's a little bit boostful. Because I don't really like them to have any kind of soda.
Right.
And there's nothing really, I don't want them to have milk for lunch. So
yeah, I gotcha. Like if the argument is soda, if that's the alternative, then anything is better.
It's true.
I'm digging it. Okay.
I mean, Bear Grylls agrees. You know what he would do.
He's the guy that drinks his own pee.
or elephant.
Yeah, he squeezes, right? He squeezes the elephant dung.
Oh,
Yeah.
juicy.
That's another
It's so
option.
juicy.
God.
What is wrong with you guys?
Kim, you should watch more TV.
Yes.
You don't watch enough survival stuff.
Getting your kids to understand why having a complete or at least a healthy lunch, it's very important because they're doing the work. They're understanding what's being put together. Now, one of my boys likes to sneak as many chips in. And if I don't do a lunch check and I see him over there, he's like, oh, here's my salami sandwich, no problem.
Nice.
And then he's like,
hard salami.
Here's my fruit roll up, here's my fruit snack, here's my barbecue chip, here's my here's my secret thing.
Never mind this over here.
Yeah, man, yeah.
But my other son loves fruit, wants apples, banana, he loves all that stuff. So he has no problem just having a couple chips in his lunch. But one of them has a really Dr. Brad. One of them has a really bad sweet tooth, like tremendously bad. So you have to be really careful with that. So that's kind of where we go with that.
I love it, bro.
Yeah.
I love it. So you, how did you get them to start making their lunch? You're making your lunch. You had all this stuff and you had them pick it out, or what?
They wanted to help.
Straight up.
And then when I had them do it the first time, I said, okay, well, I don't want to do it anymore.
That's right.
They're like, no, you've already.
It's only fun once, but now you know. If you learn how to do it,
It's your time now, bro.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Dr. Meyer, what do you have? Do you have anything? You want me to go next, or?
We want to try to get a variety, protein, fruits, vegetables, some healthy grains. So I think we found. Well, my daughter's earlier now. She's going to be a junior in high school. She's been making her own for a long time now.
Yeah.
But way back when, we would get the little containers to where, I don't know psychologically why that helps, but if you have a little container for each thing, for some reason they it's more like a handful of each thing, not overwhelm them with too much.
Nice.
It seems like they dig that.
That's right. It's the whole idea of eating smaller plates. Was it the Tupperware stuff?
Yeah.
Remember have those Tupperware ones where they make hamburgers out of? Judy Rose used to make these like towers of burgers. Remember those things? She'd process like 20 burgers.
Boom, and they all be in the freezer.
I grew up thinking that like 3/4 pound hamburger was a normal hamburger size because of those things. It's a dead perfect 1/2 inch thick.
Yeah.
I mean a clean 1/2 inch thick and 4-inch wide, like half a hockey puck. And that's a hamburger. I just thought of that. My healthy tip is that sometimes you want to try eating at school, and that's all, in a perfect world, well, they make their lunches. In the not as perfect world, it's sometimes not an option. What you need to do is please make sure you're pulling that menu every single week, on Sunday night or whatever, and going through what's going to be served that week at school. That way they at least know there's a discussion about what's going into their body, because they key off of you, their parents. If you're interested in what they're eating, they're interested in what they're eating. Within reason, of course, but it's still more than maybe before the conversation. And if you can do that, then you can drive that towards, why isn't this as good as something we would have at home? Or what makes this better? And having an eye on that makes them think about it. And that's, if you can teach your kids how to eat it and make and eat a healthy lunch, holy cow, have you given them something important. So you need to be talking about it, even if you're not making it. My first tip is that you need to be involved in the selection process for what's going on at school, even up to high school. High school, they just want double fries and double pizza, and that's awesome for Thursday. And yeah, maybe they can get away with it in terms of their metabolism, but it's not the way it should be. They need to understand what's good and what's bad. That's what's most important. So, all right, Dr. Matt, you have another one?
Having kids try different things. If you can sneak some cool vegetable stuff into your kids' bag, like some sugar snap peas. If you guys have ever had those,
SSP, bro, really sure. Who hasn't?
And the boys had no idea what they were. And then we actually, side note, we went to Indian Cat Creek for a hike, and we had a whole bunch of different vegetables with us, and we had the boys try them as we were walking. And so oh yeah, these are really good. We should have these in our lunches. Nice. And so we've kind of done that, hey, we're going to introduce some new stuff outside and then see if they'll take that.
I think that, I understand. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was going to say as well, is that modeling that healthy eating outside of school as well, because you can't expect, I'm going to pack this in your lunch, and they've never had it before, and they're not used to eating healthy stuff. They're going to be like, no way.
Their friends are making fun of them, and now they're in a fight.
But yeah, if you're modeling that,
That's a little extreme, but
All right, okay, all right. Sorry, did I ruin it? I ruined it.
It's fine. It's fine. We've come back from worse.
Yeah,
right, Kim?
Yeah.
Kim knows all about it.
And I think too, sometimes we want to get super, super healthy, and we pack, the vegetables.
Right.
You don't need any dip with that or anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to pick your battles. Hey, if they like to eat their carrot sticks with a little ranch or whatever it might be, I think that's
celery,
okay.
peanut butter, whatever.
Yeah, whatever that might be. I think you kind of pick the battles if they're going to eat those vegetables with maybe a little bit of dip or the fruits with a little bit
dip's
of
the gateway
stuff.
drug, because you can just change the dip to be a little bit healthier. But if you can get them to at least eat a vegetable, I don't like carrots, so I saw you eating carrots the other day. Well, that was with dip. You're still eating the carrot.
Right.
Nice.
But yeah, I think introducing.
Really good.
Also, there are things that they'll try at school, other foods that they can trade with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Back in our day when we were growing up, I knew that we would trade all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I had the same. I know I'm not complaining because I loved it, but I had PBJ, chips, pretzels, apple every single day.
What lunchbox did you have? R2D2? The red one?
No, I just
With the plastic
I brown
clip?
bagged it.
What?
Yeah, brown bagged it, bro.
Bro, I'd take a lunchbox.
Because when it got to me,
The lunchbox
that's what was
It's
left
funny.
of the Star Wars thing. It was just a brown
It's
bag.
funny because it's true. It was Wicket. It was Wicket. That's all that lunchbox was. It was from Return of the Jedi. Kim, you know about Wicket? Oh my God, Kim.
Side note, including a water a water jug
That's it.
in their thing, so they don't have to they're not tempted to get orange juice or milk or any of the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the follow-up, a lot of those water containers, some kids, and it's something I hadn't considered, but they drink it through a straw, like makes them crazy. Like they just don't like doing it. They just, or you lose the straw when you're washing at home because all your kids are fighting. Those things work perfectly fine, just turning them up. Drinking it like a cup with a lid on it. No big deal. They work just as well. Somebody had actually not used there anymore. It was a, I don't know, somebody had a cool looking one, and she's like, I can't even use this. I can't get a straw that fits this. I'm like, you don't need a straw, just drink it. She's like, it doesn't work like that because it's got a straw fitting. I'm like, no, just drink it. So just remind your kids, like, it's okay. If you don't want to drink out of a straw, you don't have to. Take the straw off the thing. And it's more than once that I've had to mention that. The other thing that I talk to my kids about is like, what's this food made of? What do you taste? They understand that there are proteins, that there are fats, and there are carbohydrates. And they understand that proteins are what your body is made of, carbohydrates make your body go, and fats make your body work. The difference between going and working is that fats allow your body to operate, and carbohydrates are the gasoline. Now, that's overly simplified, of course, but they understand that if those aren't balanced, they're going to be in trouble.
I think even at a younger age, understanding the healthy fats, that there are healthy fats.
Absolutely.
Because they get to a point
they
where
hear fat,
and they're like, that's
And that
bad.
was, man, how many, especially women, have paid the price for that misnomer, that fat is bad. It's so irresponsible. It just makes me crazy. So we take that really seriously here, our responsibility to educate young people, anybody really, on the proper diet.
Kim, what are you thinking?
What's wrong, Kim?
Are you thinking about asking a
What's
question
wrong?
to Dr. Josh?
Do you have a question?
You have a question, Kim?
What do you make your faces
Ask
for?
it.
I'm not. I'm
Do it. I know what
listening intently.
What's your question?
Like,
What's
I don't
your
have a
question?
question.
Dr. Fink thinks you have a question.
You do have a question.
I feel like you think I should have a question, but I don't.
Okay.
Oh,
What is
so
the
I set
question?
you up.
What is the question?
What's her-
that you
what's her
think I should
question?
have?
Dr. Josh, what's a good fat?
No, she wasn't thinking that.
No.
She already knows about the cons.
I've
Anyway,
done enough lunch and learns.
yeah, that's true. I'm really good. Although apparently this last lunch and learn I did was the best one I've ever done, Kim said.
It was. I almost cried.
With the
I wasn't
bones?
even there.
You almost cried
What
twice.
do you mean?
What do you mean? Okay, so a couple tips from each of us on how to get your kids to eat healthy lunches. And I think the takeaway from this, get them involved. Teach them the difference. If you want us to talk to your kids about healthy lunches, we're absolutely happy to do so. There's nothing more fun than arguing with young people in the office.
Or maybe we can set something up where they bring in their food and Dr. Matt prepares their breakfast lunches. We'll just have a line. And
We should get one of those rolling kitchens, put it in the multi-purpose room. You know what I mean? Dr. Mac can make
Kids will
lunch at
stop
like a
by.
deli counter.
Yeah.
It's
That would be
always
so great.
always better when someone else makes it.
It really
It
is.
could be a PBJ sandwich.
It really is.
The other thing, Ziploc bags. You can always reuse the stuff you use for like vegetables. Just wash it out.
Bro, I haven't seen a
Wash
bag
it out.
come back to our house.
Is that true?
I haven't seen their lunch boxes come back, but I haven't seen a plastic bag come back to our house since.
Have you guys seen the reusable, basically Ziploc bags now?
Yeah, you wash them.
Yeah, you wash them.
You wash them.
What did I just say?
But they're not just regular Ziploc bags. They're special ones.
Dr. Matt doesn't need special ones. He washes everything.
Okay, good for you. I'm just saying, for people who
house-
don't do that, maybe the kids will remember. to
Maybe that's
bring-
just my wishful thinking. I just wish they'd bring them back because sometimes they'll bring food still in their lunch bags. And I'm like, why don't you just throw away the food that you're done with? And if you wash the bag, then bring the bag home. Don't bring food that's
Like a
6
half-eaten
hours old.
apple.
Yeah, here we go. Dr. Matt's on the
Not
verge.
apple, but like
Here we go.
one of my sons refuses to throw anything away. One of them throws everything away, no problem, he's all done.
Right.
The other one has never thrown anything away.
I
Puts
love
everything back in his lunchbox.
I love it.
And brings it home.
Does he eat it as a snack or you throw
No. I do the sweep and check. I sweep through their bag, make sure all their homework's done.
Bro, you are awesome.
And then I check.
You're so cool.
Because you learned that
Yeah.
one time when you looked on Monday and there was food in there from Friday.
Yes, that's right. It was the gap between end of one grade and the beginning of another.
Oh.
And they're like,
Snizzle
we're
snoop.
done. I'm like, this
This is from when you were in third grade, yeah.
Yeah, this
Throw the
lunch
whole
bag's
thing
done,
away.
yeah.
You throw
Oh,
Because
that's
you would think that they would
frustrating.
just, yeah, so.
So not only Tim.
You're talking about May to September. Or May to August.
Yeah.
Disgustment.
So what not to do.
Yeah, you could have taken this as a science
Me.
fair project.
What I'm doing,
first
don't
quarter
do what
science
I'm
fair.
doing.
First quarter science fair. My kid made penicillin. You know what
Yeah, I
I
was
mean?
working on it for like 4 months, guys. I can't believe you.
All right, so if you, like I said, if you have any questions or anything you want us to go over, especially with kids, we're going to have a super, super great handout starting Monday, and we'll be able to hand this out. You guys check it out, hang it on your fridge. It's probably the first refrigerator-worthy handout we've done in quite some time.
Wow.
Good job, Kim. You did a really good job.
New level.
Yeah, it's a whole new level. It's the googly eyes. So anyway, be on the lookout for that, and then we will talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye.
And a big thank you goes out to Hug Monster Sound for somehow allowing the doctors' voices to sound even better than they already do.